All right, sports fans. I mean, mine men. I mean, mine people. I mean, whatever it is that you call yourselves. Beautiful cubes. Welcome to our very first, call it quasi-official, feature preview. This is something that we're going to try to start doing in the future whenever we have exciting new things coming to Loka. The way that we want to do these things is give people an opportunity to see what's cool and coming to Loka soon, while also acknowledging the fact that it doesn't work entirely fully 100% yet. It does work pretty well, but there's a few bugs, and that's why it's not out yet. But all the same, this is the preview, so feel free to ask some questions in the stream chat if you'd like. We'll try to keep up to date with it. Magpie and Gibbo are here with me tonight to help you see what Void Storage is all about. So, for the record, many of you are like, no, it was Ender Storage, wasn't it? Well, turns out there's a mod called Ender Storage for Minecraft, and that seemed a bit crap. So, we're going to call it Void Storage because it seems on theme. Anyway, all the same. Void Storage, yes, it's this beautiful stuff. Say hi, Mag. Say hi, Gib.
Hello.
They've been helping us. They and the other Guardians have been helping us extensively test this. And so, yes, again, it's a preview. It's not bug-free, but we hope to show you how this works. And we feel it's at a place that's close enough to show you so that you can begin to start to think, at least. I wouldn't say go ahead and go crazy, but think about how you want to reorganize what used to be your auto sorters. So, Void Storage, aka Infinite Storage, aka Magical Hopper Transport System. So the way these work is, in short, there is a deposit chest. This guy right here. This is a deposit chest. Effectively, this is what you're used to seeing around your towns. They're dump chests. You know, you dump all your trash in here or whatever you'd like. Mag, so you've set up what? The bread. We got some chicken, some stone.
Yeah, exactly.
So the way these work
the
is.
items in this chest.
Oh, beautiful. Look at that. I'll clear out my inventory here real quick. The beautiful town of Los Alamos, or at least some very old version of whatever the hell this is we're in. Some sort of, looks like a roller.
Oh, this is, yeah, no, it's all good.
Is our testing ground. So whatever you put in here, this is called a deposit chest, will be automatically sorted into its subsequent output chests, which we call access chests. So say we take some bread and some chicken and some carrots and some stone, some cobble. Stick it in this bad boy here. Now, I don't know if you heard that, but there was a nice little ding noise. This chest has now thrown everything that it contained that could be sorted into these chests over here. Behold, bread storage. Wait. Okay, this is important. So, I didn't know you had done that. So, before some of you might have already started asking, oh, can you do more than just one thing in a chest? The answer is yes. If you shift right-click on an item frame, you can add multiple items that a single chest can store. So if you'd like all of your food to go into one chest, you can do it. This little beautiful info thingy is something we're going to try to start doing in the future of Loka, just so that all interfaces that you're dealing with have some sort of like a what do I do in here? And so that's what this is. So you can store up to 36 different items, and you can add stuff to it. So we got carrots, we got apples, we got fish, we got bread. Well, so we're missing, I don't know, potato. So potato item. So here's some potatoes. Shift click this bad boy, shift click this bad boy, and now this chest can store potatoes. So I'll go throw the potatoes here. 64 items stored. Boom. Potatoes in my bread storage. And so wait, you might ask. Can I also name my stuff? You totally can. So we got some cheat codes here for name tagging. Call this food bro storage. If you right-click an output chest, we call them access chests, with a name tag, as you would with an animal or something like that, you can actually name your chest. I believe it's a shift right-click, actually. Boom, now we got food bro storage. Food bro storage. That's kind of funny. Anyway, this is basically the key to how this whole thing works. Now, this is an infinite storage situation. So I can give myself a whole crap load of carrots and stick them in this chest, and they will all go here. But also, these deposit chests can work with hoppers. That's why this magpie set up this beautiful thing right here. So I'm going to toss all these beautiful carrots in here. And wait. And they're all getting pushed through here. This is one of those things that might be bugged a little bit. Yeah, they're working. You lied to me, magpie. You said they weren't working.
It's temperamental.
It's not temperamental. Anyway, every once in a while, I don't know, I think 4 or 5 seconds or so, all deposit chests that have hoppers feeding into them will occasionally dump their stuff. You'll see. Possibly. There you go. So every moment or so, it will deposit everything that it can if there's an access chest for it. So if I jump over here, here are my carrots. Do these update automatically while you're looking at them? The answer is yes. Observe as carrots increase as I'm looking at them. It's beautiful. It's wonderful. It's everything we've wanted it to be. It's only 3 years late. So now, since this is being slow, I don't really want to wait for all this. I'm going to dump them all in here. Many, many items. So, pages, you're used to this and look, oh god, we still don't have enough pages. Okay, so the next question you might be asking is, can I just like interact with this myself? And the answer is yes. You can just put stuff in here. We do have an issue where once you get full of the first page, you can't really do anything. So we'll wait a second. Page 2 should show up. Here you go. Now I can add stuff to this. So you could operate the access chest just like you would a normal chest. You're just locked from using the bottom row. And additionally, if I were to, let's just say hopper, have hoppers in my inventory. Can't use hoppers because hoppers don't go in this chest. So you're not even allowed to click it. So that's our way of sort of protecting you from using the right stuff in the chest. So that's output chests. I should say access chests in a, I don't know, basic form. Now, how do you make these, I guess, is the question everybody's next asking, because that's pretty much how they work, right? Everything that you can store, if you put something in here that you can't store, nothing happens. It should say something in your action bar. It doesn't presently, but it will say something like, you know, this will only move items that have output chests. So until you have a hopper chest or a chest that sorts hoppers, it will just stay there forever. It's kind of your way of like knowing that there's something you need to do. So, to craft these bad boys, and if anybody was watching the stream, well, any of you two are watching the stream and there were questions, I wasn't really... I guess we'll open it up to questions.
We'll wait, we'll wait till the end.
So when you're making the configuration for what items you want to be storing in your access chests, you do have to have one of those items at least in order to set up the configuration, so I believe Steve asked that.
Yeah, so when you make a new access chest, so what you put on here is like kind of a fake. I'll show you here in a second. So how you craft these things in order to sort of keep them slightly valuable, since they are crazy OP compared to natural Minecraft. They're not free. They require what are called reinforced hoppers. So this will not be the final tooltip for a reinforced hopper, but we like memes, and so we know you do too, so it's a big boy hopper. Effectively, a reinforced hopper is made out of the following things. It is, that's 6 hoppers and 3 comparators. So all the hoppers that we know everybody's had to be removing from their towns in order to keep Loka performing well still have a purpose. They will be used for reinforced hoppers. So a reinforced hopper is part of the recipe for void storage deposit and access chests. Now, another bug is that these should say that they require the super hoppers, but they don't yet. But needless to say, this is the recipe for a deposit chest, and the recipe for an access chest is pretty much the exact same. It's just a chest. Those
Instead
are the two
of an ender
recipes.
chest.
So it's 4 reinforced hoppers, 4 redstone blocks, and in the deposit chest, ender chest, and in the access, it's a regular chest.
Should be noted that the reinforced hoppers are purely a item to be used for this recipe. They are not usable elsewhere,
Correct.
and they are not faster hoppers or anything like that.
Right. At present, these do nothing other than serve as a ingredient for void storage chests. We won't say that they will never have a purpose, but at present they won't. And if you try to place one, it will block you from doing so. So, Mag has given me some of these nice guides here. You'll notice that this is a special looking head block here that we're using to denote a deposit chest. You can break it off and you can place a new one. And we automatically place that item in it for you. So we've gone to some great lengths and to make it so that you can't steal this item. However, we know you're going to try. So we're going to be opening up a public server beta test of this at some point in the near future so that everybody can try void storage out on the PTS as soon as they want to, or as soon as they can anyway, once we're ready. But yeah, all you do is just place this on any one of these chests. It can be a double chest as well, if you're wondering. And then
trap chests.
And trap chests, yeah. Any of trap chests or chests. Those are the only two kinds they can be. And then to make anything an output chest, you just slap one of these bad boys on here. Access chest. Ah, yes. So because output chests, if you're wondering, oh, what happens to the chest underneath? The answer is it's kind of inaccessible, so there's nothing in it. So the reason I can't make this a chest is because there's stuff in it. So if I just grab a chest here and place a new one down and it's empty, I can now place this on top of it. This makes it an access chest. And then if I wanted to take these hoppers of mine, not these hoppers, these are special hoppers, and place these in here, boom. So not only did it make this chest a access chest for hoppers, but it also scanned every deposit chest that I have in the town for hoppers that were just sitting in there waiting for it, and it automatically yanked them over here. So here are my hoppers now. Beautiful. As Gibby was saying, if I wanted to add item frames as something this chest could store, whenever you shift and right click on a access chest, this is where you get to storage configuration. You got to have one of these in your inventory, but you shift click to add it. It doesn't take it from your inventory. It just says, oh, I would like to also store item frames. And that's it. I suppose the final thing I think I know to ask about, get some bread here. What about moving this stuff around? The answer is yes, you can, of course, do that. So if I would like to add bread to this chest for whatever reason, when I go into storage mode or configuration mode, I can shift click to add this, and it kicked me out of the inventory and asked, hey, you're already storing bread over here. You want to store it over here instead? And I can go, yep. And when I say yes, it opens it back up. Bread's now storable. If I open this guy up, here's my bread. And that is how you move.
So you can't have the same item in multiple access chests effectively. So you can't have, you know, your bread accessible everywhere in town simultaneously. If you're using this system, it can only be a single chest.
Correct. There will be permissions assigned for these kinds of things, so that only whatever member level you decide in your town can create access and deposit chests or whatever. You can do that.
But should also be noted that anyone can open these chests. So a raider gets into your town, you know, they have full access to opening these chests if they're out in the open. So they're not any sort of, in fact, if anything, I'd argue they're probably a enhancement to raiding rather than a downside.
Yeah, get the one chest, get every one of those items. Yeah, boy. I'm up for it.
Correct.
Also, if you get damaged while in the UI for the access chest, you will get kicked out. So that's a way of...
Care to punch me, Magpie?
I can indeed.
Here we go. That will be something that... in the future of all of our like special GUIs, the one where GUI is a word we use in the industry, quote unquote, graphical user interface, GUI, GUI, that's what we call it.
Or UI, sometimes it's known as.
UI is easier, interface, whatever. Any of these new type of interfaces that you've probably noticed we have on Loka are going to all work this way. So anything that is like one of the fancy new UIs, if you get punched, you're just going to get kicked out of it. Because we figure you probably want to save yourself from dying, possibly, rather than be stuck in an inventory. GG.
Yeah. So something else that has been asked and haven't quite mentioned yet is pulling items out with hoppers. Now you can't attach hoppers to output chests, or access chests, should I say, to pull things out. You can only really use them to put into the deposit chest. There's no way of pulling them out again.
That might be something that we expand upon in the future, but as it exists, it's the access chest only allows you to like interface with the storage, and you can't pull anything out automatically yet.
Mario Gaming asks, when a town dies, what happens? And I'm really glad that you asked that, because we have actually a really cool idea for this. The idea for a town's death that has void storage, which we expect most people will, is that every chest in the town, we will scan the entire territory for chests in that town, and what we will do is just randomly throw all of the items in void storage into random chests throughout the whole town. There will be no order to it. It will be completely random. God knows where everything will go. And if for whatever reason we fill up every chest in the town fully, everything that's left will be completely lost. So basically what we're thinking is, if it should be even more exciting if a town dies. You shouldn't have to just go hunting for their actual vault.
Yeah,
you have to go
storage
look
instead.
Yeah, go look through every chest you can find in their town, because it may be filled up with their void storage.
It could,
and random
it could be full of
too.
diamonds in a random guy's house or anything. You know, it's completely
No
random.
secret lockers, no hidden chests anymore. It's going to be everywhere.
Yeah. So I mean, the first person getting to a town that dies doesn't mean they get all the good stuff, because there's no way they're going to have time to go everywhere before other people show up. So.
Zevi asks, what happens if somebody breaks a chest and you basically cannot ever break an access chest if it's got stuff in it. So if I give myself a diamond axe here, can't break it. Can't break this either. Can't break it, can't turn it. Turning it, well, would be right-clicking, and right-clicking just opens a chest. This is one of those convenience things. So rather than rotating an item frame, we'll just skip through and open the chest for you, because we assume that's what you need to do anyway. Now, if I take these two things out, I can plop this off. We got a regular chest here, and I get my deposit chest back. Put it back up there. Oh, that's a deposit chest. I meant an output chest. Put my chicken back on there. I have lost the name of the chest. I should say that, though. So use your name tags wisely. But then I can put chicken back in here. Can't use this. Can't use this. These can't be stored in here. So, but I can put my chicken in there. No problem. What about? Boy, my chat is kind of cut off. Something town lord items, as Cav said.
Yeah, so lord items will. So, for example, if your farm produces carrots, the carrot overrides the lore tag, so it will be sorted with any other carrot access chests that you may have.
Obviously, in its own stack within that chest, it wouldn't then stack with other carrots. But
it doesn't remove the lore; it respects that. Yeah.
What we do is we kind of determine what the base item that you're adding to that output chest is, and so anything that's legitimately like a carrot will go into there. And then it will kind of collapse all regular carrots together, and then it will collapse all carrots imbued in your town together, and then whatever else you put in there.
There are exceptions to these sort of things. So local custom items, for example, blood. That's something that won't just drop in with potions and whatever. It would store all together in a blood chest effectively. So there'll be certain exceptions to the rules for local custom items.
This has now created a blood chest. Blood storage can go in here. My stuff can go in here. Magpie, would you kindly?
Yes, yeah. Is it...
Magpie's blood. Stick it here. Wait a second. 5 seconds later. Boom. It threw it to this chest. Now I got Magpie's blood and Cryptide's blood. That is another one of the things kind of blocking us from releasing it, tomorrow, is just that there's a lot of special cases for stuff like blood.
Yeah.
How will
Obviously,
player
we'll, as we say, we'll release it as like a public test, and that will probably be fairly close to when it does get fully released. It will just be a case of any bugs that we've missed. Let people play around with it.
So,
somebody was
a good
asking
question.
if there could be multiple of these depot chests. You can have infinite deposit chests in your town. Infinite. Yep. However, you can have only one item per output chest. So you can only have one blood storage chest, basically, or one chest in which blood can be stored. For example, carrot. So if I were to,
you could store
make
blood with
chest
carrots if you really
here.
wanted to. I don't know why, but you know, we give you that flexibility.
No. It's called carrot item. So if I were to try to put a carrot in this chest, it'd be like, no, you can't. You're already doing that. But I could be like, yeah, no, but I want to move it here. And then there you go. There's all my carrots.
So while they are infinite in inverted commas, there is a cap based on item frames still. These will count towards the item frame cap, and there is a very good chance that we will increase that cap once this system is released, and in turn lower the Hoffer count. So do expect the item frame cap to go up to sort of compensate for this system, but that will be kind of the hard cap on number of input chests. You can't literally spam them in every tile of your town, because that would impact server performance and your own sanity and FPS as well.
As to whoever was
We've all
asking
been to
about
Silverhand.
potion storage, it is per chest if you'd like. Can't do splash, can't do strength, can't do fire, since can do swiftness. But of course, then you can shift right click in if you want to say I want to do swiftness and I want to do healing and strength and fire. Now I can store all of these things. So you're welcome to say to have one access chest per potion, or one access chest per splash, or regular or drinkable, and that's basically up to you. Sabji asks if you can turn the sounds off. No, I don't think we're going to let that happen, but they're not loud. But I guess I shouldn't say that that's a guarantee, because we try to let Loka be as customizable as possible, but they shouldn't be that annoying, generally speaking. That said, I could lie about that, so yeah. What happens when the access check is broken? You can't do it.
Yeah, you have to take everything out before.
Can you show us the entrance to the vault? No, we can't. Is there any items that can't be sorted? Special items, yes. What is classified as a special item? Let me look at my code here really quick. Special. Stat track, Lord, like lore scroll Lord. Keep on death. Presently, anyway. Recall stone.
Quest items.
Town chest and soulbound.
Soulbound.
Those are like the
Yeah.
5 things that cannot go through void storage. And I can see us probably not, or being fine with keep on death not being sorted into it, but I don't see a reason for it. It's pretty rare, and unless you're, you shouldn't have some sort of vast
I've been
quantity
killing
of
a lot
keep on
of
death.
new players, the dogs recently. I need to store all those swords.
Steve's asked about sorting. It doesn't entirely sort very well presently, but what it at the very least will do is, in this case, for food bro storage here, it will at least sort in the order that you've added the configuration. So it doesn't presently, but it will do fish, then apples, then potatoes. As for after that, it kind of just randomly picks. We need an example of, let's just say like, let's say a chest that stores diamond swords. Alright, so I got my diamond sword stuff. Now here's this diamond sword called Mag Slayer. Throw that over here. I missed. Should get tossed over here pretty soon. There it is. Now here's this. I would like to also add axes to it. However, I would like to break one of these guys. You can always break deposit chests, since there's really nothing special about them other than the item frame up front. So, I'm not. Why did that not incur any damage? Okay, so there's a little bit of a durability loss on this thing, so I'm gonna throw this here. Also gonna spawn in a diamond axe without any durability loss in here. So it kind of just sorts it in a sort of random order. We probably will add some order to this over time, but all the diamond block axes with, this much durability loss will be grouped together. All the ones with none will be grouped together. and then the swords will be grouped together. So there's sort of an order and sort of a not order to it, but like I said, at the very least, it'll go in the order that you've added it to configuration. Oh, yeah, I guess I kind of glossed over this. Click to set as display item. So you can click any one of these things to say, I would like it to be the item frame in the front to show a diamond axe. But no, I would like instead a sword. So you click it and now it shows swords. And if you name tag it, it will retain that. So if I get my name tag here, or title it big boy. And
Yeah, there's no
here.
maximum or minimum distance that inputs and deposit and access chests, should I say. They can be as close. They can be right next to each other. If you're that lazy, you know, go crazy. In terms of released, I mean, we don't have a set date as such. I don't know if Crypt has any ideas of when the public test will go live.
I'm thinking what day is it? Is it Monday? Good lord. It is a Monday.
Close.
We're probably,
Well,
I would say we're
Monday for you
probably
still.
1 or 2 days out from public, beta, because we didn't want to show this off until we were sure that at least it acted the way we wanted it to. So
Yeah.
we're not shy to give you guys the ability to test this out, knowing that there's some bugs. It was most important to us that at least it worked the way we wanted it to. So stuff like, well, what does it do with this very specific custom item? Well, we haven't added that.
We've done a
support yet.
lot
That's
of
okay.
internal testing and gotten through a lot of bugs and ways to abuse the system. I mean, there's always a chance there's more, which is why we want to throw it out to people to play around. But I'm fairly confident we've got a lot of the bugs out the way already.
Ghibli asked a good question. No, you cannot create access or deposit chests within your industry areas. That would be a little bit cheaty.
The same
way
We
you
still
can't
want
place
you moving
hoppers.
around in your towns and such.
You can't place offers in them. It's the same principle. Right?
We've also extended the check radius of an industry building by 1 so that you can't even do stuff up next to one either. So, is there a max distance that a chest has to be within a deposit chest? The answer is no. So long as they're on your town, it's infinite distance. It's not infinite, obviously. It's just the extent of your town's things. But yes, now go
A
ahead.
couple of people asking about alcohol. That's one of the custom items that we haven't actually set up yet. So I can't give a concrete answer as to how they'll store. Whether they'll store all alcohol in the same thing or whether we'll have separate ones for it, I don't know yet. We'll have to. It's tough. I don't know. I can see the pros and cons of either way.
We've got a question. Could you use this for separate player storage? No, there isn't any private variant of this. It's for a town. We are intending to make it so that only you can set up permissions for who can make and remove deposit and access chests within the town. So in that way you can restrict it. But
Stop your new
it's supposed
players
to be for a
messing with
town.
it and whatnot. Exactly.
At Gab's question, enchanted swords armored separately. No, they're still diamond swords are always diamond swords, but you'll notice as I'm sitting here, if they are enchanted the exact same way, because they're considered the same,
They'll
all
go
the
next.
sharp 5, fire aspect 2, unbreaking 3s will all be together. If you're asking whether we'll allow you to split specific enchant sets of diamond swords into different chests, the answer is no. That will not likely ever be possible.
Yeah, things like that. I mean, the idea of this system is it's a better auto sorter, which numerous towns have at the moment, and this already splits things up far greater than they're able to. So I think there is a line that we have to draw somewhere with those sort of things.
Calf asks if there's could be integration for NPCs with bountiful territories sorted into void storage. So we hadn't thought about that, but I had agreed that if you were, for example, I think the answer is yes in the end. I think we're going to be cool with that. And the reason I say that is because with town jobs, whenever you want to add more instances of a job that require something, stone or whatever, if you don't have it on your inventory, I could very easily say yes, we can say just yank it from my void storage. So if you would if you don't have, that way you don't have to have all 600,000 stone in your inventory to add instances of a job for a town that requires stone or that pays out stone. It'll just pull from your void storage. So I would say that yes, I could see us doing that, but at the same time, I think there's something to be said about going to your town NPC and sort of seeing the return on your investment. Because when it goes into void storage directly, you just kind of have more somewhere and you don't really know about it. And I think it's a little more exciting to like pick up your loot.
It's also going over the top with automation as well. You know, much like industries where we don't want it automated to the point where, you know, you should have to go and manage them by filling up the inputs and taking out the output chest. Town Feathers checking logs of the chests. I don't know if that's one we've tested. I imagine there's definitely the deposit chest shouldn't work any differently. It should log that.
I don't think it will.
I don't know about the access ones though. Something we'll have to play around with.
Yeah, we don't have our block logger on PTS. I think the output, the access chests might work the same because you still legitimately put things in an inventory.
Deposit chests.
Well, I was saying access chests.
Well, really? Because
they want to know who took 600,000 stone out of their access chest.
Yeah.
We do have some more distant plans in the future for town audit logs, just like as a whole. It's just not something we've done yet. So, one way or another, though, whether our block logger shows it or whether you need to ask us, we intend to have some sort of logging for the use of void storage, at least in its early days, so that if people do take out a bajillion things, that people know about it.
In terms of our roadmap, I guess, so I mean, this is obviously the first thing that will be coming out, you know, as we said, should be public test worthy in a few days. Then we'll be just putting all of our efforts into pushing 1.13 finally.
Correct.
So that'll be the next thing.
Yeah.
After that, then, you know, we'll be looking at
either
the
jobs.
other things that we've mentioned.
It'll likely
Jobs
be
2.0,
parallel development efforts.
nodes.
Yeah, because Jobs 2.0 is something that I can work on and a number of people can also work on. Whilst there's a completely different set of our staff that can help push Treasure Knives along.
Other parts. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, 1.13 is definitely the thing that is going to be out after this.
Anyway, we do want to keep this short and sweet so that this doesn't drag on forever. So if you have any last questions that actually pertain to this feature as opposed to just what we're doing on Loka, ask those because we would like to spit this out as a YouTube video. And not
there's no overflow chest. There's no need for an overflow chest. There are infinite pages in the access chest, so even if you had 100 billion stone, it will store that. It will just have enough pages in that chest to store it, so there's no need for overflow.
You should be able to place them next to warp beacons, but that may interact strangely with the industry code currently. That's one of the things we'd like testing. We want when you come onto the PTS, test all the use cases that you think you're going to use this for, and if it doesn't work quite right, then slap in that report. You know.
There's no reason infinite pages would cause lag as such.
Yeah, Thanius, as soon as you close the access chest, it'll collapse down into as few pages as it can possibly go.
No, only in terms of people being in the same chest. In the access chest, only one person can open it at once. And then you obviously have to hit that player if you want to knock them out of the inventory to access it. So, I mean, that may cause a few problems if you've got conquest fights going on and everybody's trying to access the potion chest. So people will have to design systems to kind of prevent that becoming a problem.
Yeah.
You know, possibly going the old school manual route with chests for potions. Perhaps one idea would be to, you know, have a big potion room, have the access chest in there, and then people manually put them in regular chests ready for fights.
I don't know if it was mentioned, but only one person can access an access chest at a time.
That's what we just said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was definitely not listening.
No, you can't have two outputs of the same item. If you do add that to another chest, if you say you've already got bread in one chest, you want to add it to another access chest, it will give you a prompt of if you want to move it to this new chest. So it's all got to go in the same place, much like an auto sorter would work, that people currently have. It's not like the ultimate solution to everything. People will have to be creative with how they use certain mechanisms, but that's good. We like creativity. I'm sure people will come up with interesting ways of using it.
Okay. I think, if there's any last questions, I think we're going to cut it off there, just so that this doesn't drag on for too long.
No, hoppers can't draw
cannot,
from access.
yeah.
No.
They can put into deposit, but they cannot draw from access. But it's, in the future, we might look at implementing an upgrade system where that's added or something along those lines, but at the moment, no. We are trying to avoid the use of hoppers at the moment, so, we are limiting hopper use to some degree because, again, while the cap is at 2,000 at the moment, that was sort of to ease people into this new system. We will, once this has been rolled out for a while, lower that hopper cap for people because, having 2,000 hoppers in every town on the server does cause problems.
Whoa! I just lost an item.
Oh, there you
Unless
go.
we have is there a dirt chest? Do we have a dirt chest?
There
in
is.
There is? Are you sure? I threw diorite. Nope. I threw diorite in the output chest, and it got completely... No, it's still there. It was Podzol, rather. I think that was just a bug, like a visual bug. Because, yeah, I definitely...
Fine.
Dirt 2 is
Yeah,
Podzol. I put the Podzol in there, and I saw it go away.
Cut that out from the final.
It did me a bit of a concern. But yes, to answer your question, I don't have anywhere to store Podzol. As a result, it's going to stay in the deposit chest until such time as I create a Podzol chest, which I shall do now.
I mean, in terms of potion storage and auto brewers, I mean, they're still going to allow a certain number of hoppers. I mean, we're not going to be so drastic with them that nobody can use hoppers on the server. So there are going to be instances where you can still use hoppers for interesting contraptions. This is just another option.
Yeah,
So
we figured that the bulk of hoppers were being used for storage. The things like auto brewers and other such contraptions don't actually use as much. But yeah, so we thought
I mean, the hopper cap will most likely allow you to still have systems like that if you want them in your town.
Yeah.
But to some people, this will be more convenient. It's it's up to you really.
Can you put a random item into the access chest? Oh, yes, no. So I think I'll answer two questions. One, for those who didn't see it, notice that there's 127 Podzol here. I'm going to make a Podzol chest. I grabbed 127 Podzol from here, immediately stuck it into here. But he was asking if I could put random stuff in here. The answer is no. You can't even click on stuff in your inventory that isn't supposed to go into this storage chest. When a stack of items is just removed from the first page, will it forward the second page to the first page? Presently, no. There's a little bit of jankiness about what happens when you're on that cusp between two pages.
It should though. That's the intent.
In the end, it might. It's not. That's not the kind of quality of life thing that's likely to block us from releasing the actual feature, just because it's not that important.
It'll still function.
It'll function. It'll work.
Less easy on the eyes, kind of.
If if you're confused, just close your inventory, reopen it, and you'll see the page 1 or 2 as it should be. So
yeah, it's only that it doesn't do it instantly. If you turn it off and on again, i.e. closing and reopening the chest, it fixes it. Hey presto.
Yeah. So anyway, all right. I think we're gonna call it on that one. So thanks for watching. We want to continue to do this for any future features that we release on Loka. The ones that we would say need explanation, which isn't too many, but it's a good way to get some feedback from the community before we open it to public test. More importantly, this kind of gives you guys an idea with how does it work And what do I do when I have access to the public test server?
Yeah, it gives you some
And,
time to have a think about things, and then obviously at that point it's the best time to feedback. You know, if there are things that you drastically don't like for whatever reason, or there are bugs, then you can feed that back at that point.
Yeah. We're super duper excited about getting this out. It's a server feature we've wanted to put in for probably a couple of years now. We just kept pushing it off, but we always knew this was coming at some point, just because having many big towns with auto storage and auto sorters and auto brewers all at the same time, especially during those big range fights, just wasn't going to keep the server running. So we knew we needed this, and I think this is one of those things that makes Loka kind of unique. So we're super excited to see not only you guys use it, but what kind of creative stuff you guys can do with it, because I'm sure that people can do some pretty cool stuff with their storage vaults and stuff like that when they know they don't need to also support like insane hopper chains and auto sorters and massive redundant storage and stuff like that. Obviously, the idea is that this replaces everybody's need for an auto sorter, which is why when it comes out, after some period of time, a week or two, we're going to probably hard tank the hopper maximum in town. 500 is the current number we're likely to sit at, because quite frankly, with this system, there just isn't really a reason to have hoppers for anything that other than a very small machine. And like for all of your auto brewers, you can basically pump all of the auto brewer output into one of these deposit chests. As I'm showing right here, you can put like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 4, I guess if you exclude the item frame. You can put 4 hoppers inputting into one deposit chest at once, and it will start spitting stuff all over your town as necessary. So you should be able to really condense how you store stuff. You don't even need to use double chests. We just thought it would be useful if people could. You don't have to though. It makes absolutely no difference. Like
the GUI will still be the same size. Like a single chest will have the same capacity.
I'll
It's just a
54.
visual thing.
So cool.
But you know,
All right.
I mean, you can do all sorts. You know, make a kitchen and all your food stuff goes in there. Or you don't have to have all your storage in the same spot anymore.
Yes, you can use double input chests.
Oh, he's saying in terms of adding a couple of extra hoppers to feed into it. Yeah.
Correct. Yeah. So this guy's getting in the way, which I probably can't break because he's probably got stuff in it. Exactly. Gotta take the blood out and then I can break it. Oh no, actually there's a bug. You can't break the chest. You have to break the item frame, then you can break the chest. Another one of those quality of life things.
That'll most likely
we've
change
got to
that.
iron out. Yeah.
Yeah, there's an incredible amount of nuances with these sort of systems that you don't think about until you start playing around with it, and then you find all these things that you need to do with it.
I don't even know where all the stuff I put in here was. But needless to say, yes, I put some hoppers in here, some hoppers in here, some hoppers in here. I don't know that I must have a hopper chest somewhere. I don't remember where I put it. I think it was over with something ridiculous like that. Oh, like here, where I said it was. Here are my hoppers. So
It's clever. That's labeled and everything. Look at that.
yeah. So anyway, all right, we're gonna call it a night. Thanks for joining us, and we hope to do some more of these in the future when necessary. So appreciate you guys joining us, and y'all have a wonderful evening.
See ya.
Good night.